Yo, what's good, everybody? It's HadukenSharon. We are back with another show today. We're gonna be talking about Knicks, some trade rumors, of course, and regarding some signings as well. I know it's been a minute, but some stuff has been dry, so I didn't really want to overdo anything. But yeah, shout out to my guy Andrew K. I see you, bro. What's good? Shout out to you. What up? What up? Yeah, nah. So I'm gonna talk about it's just me, you do. Yeah, now people gonna join up in a little bit. I haven't been on in a while, so I'm not expecting too much to be honest. Um, but yeah, nah. I'm gonna talk. I want to talk about the summer league game first and the summer league games in general throughout. I think it's been 4 games, 5 games, and then I want to go over to the Donovan Mitchell stuff and talk about Brunson as well. So yeah, I'm gonna get into that in a little bit. Just give me a second. Figure this out. Wait. All right. Um. Yeah, but shout out to everyone that's joining up right now. People that are gonna watch on the replay. Um. Make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell on if you haven't already. All that good stuff. You already know what it is. Geraldine, what's good, bro? Salute to you. Shout out to you guys. And I know I haven't been, I haven't been live a lot, but it's also because I don't really want to drag too much stuff. I don't want to keep repeating the same thing, so I've been kind of keeping it low key, to be honest. But a lot more news is gonna be coming out. Hadouken has been slacking. He has been training for a Street Fighter match. I mean, I do what I do. It is what it is. But we will be back. I've been in Legion's chat a bit. Just talking there, going on there as well. But yeah, shout out to Wilson Ding as well. Shout out to you guys. I'm gonna go talk about these games real quick. If you didn't know, if you haven't been paying attention, the Knicks were in the summer league finals, and they were led by Quentin Grimes throughout the whole entire thing. Quentin Grimes has been, he's been off and on, but he has been good for the most part. Except that first game, started off slow, and then he had a good game. For the rest of that second half, game two he played well, so he also did game three. But this game that he just had, it just wasn't good all around. But I can't just blame it on him because it was the whole team in totality. So I'm gonna go over that as well. Yo, Mixed Sports, what's good, bro? Salute to you. What up? Let me see. Got here. Yeah. So let's go over these stats real quick. So we played the Portland Trailblazers today earlier at 3 p.m. and we lost. I don't really know the players like that in there except a few of them, of course. But yeah, I'll just name the main ones of the guys that went off. Trendon Watford, 7 for 15, 3 of 6 from 3. He had 19.7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, as well as a block. He was doing good. I mean, before even Summer League, they signed him towards the end of the second half for the Portland Trail Blazers, and he's pretty solid in the NBA as well. He puts up some stats. He was doing pretty good, so I'm pretty sure he won NBA Summer League MVP, deservedly so because they won. Luka Garza, who was drafted by the Pistons last season, a lot of people wanted him to be drafted by the Knicks. I really don't know why. He's not really anything special. He has 6 points and 3 rebounds, nothing special. Keon Johnson, who the Knicks drafted, had an awful game. He couldn't score. Didn't shoot much either, but still he couldn't score. But he did show up on the defensive end. Brandon Williams, who's also pretty solid. He's been doing pretty decent. He played for them during the season as well. 22 points, 3 rebounds, 5 assists, along with 1 steal, 5 and 9 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, and he shot 10 free throws and went perfect from the line. Jabari Walker, who is the Portland Trailblazers draft pick from this season, 4 8 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3. He was low-key killing us this game. He was doing really well. 14 points, 11 rebounds, along with 2 assists. And he was doing really good on the defensive end, as you can see. 3 steals, 2 blocks. He was giving Sims the business. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to talk about Sims a little bit later regarding this game because I'm not going to lie. He was getting cooked. Kobe Ross, I really don't know who that is, to be honest. But he had an okay game, 6 points, 4 assists. And then Kyle Alexander. But yeah, that's not really important. I don't really know much of those guys from the Portland Trailblazers. Um, Sims and Grimes have showed improvement this season. They have. We're gonna talk about it in a little bit. Yeah, Keon Johnson hasn't put his offensive game together. That was his main concern coming out of the draft last year. I agree. That was my main problem with him coming into the draft and regarding us drafting him. That's the reason I didn't want to draft him. It's because I don't think that his offensive game is anything crazy, and it's gonna take a lot of work. But I mean, not just this game, but in other games, he has shown a little bit of development in his offensive game. So I can't really say much regarding that. Um, but yeah, to continue on now towards the Knicks, we have at the top, we have Trevor Keels, who went 1 for 4, 0 for 2 from the 3-point line, 1 or 2 from the free throw line. He had 3 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, along with 1 steal and 3 turnovers. Just to talk about Keels a little bit, we did draft Keels at 42, and he hasn't really had the easiest job of transitioning so far into the NBA. He has been struggling. His offensive game is not really there. He hasn't been shooting well. I don't know. It's just, I mean, I can't really say much because I'm seeing people, kill him a lot right now, everywhere. But to be honest, he's 18 years old. I didn't really expect much of him. He's raw. I think it's gonna take him a few years to get better. So to be honest, I'm gonna let him slide. I'm not really too worried about him. I think that he could be a solid player maybe in the next few years. But I don't know, nothing special. Um, Eric Surreal was good, bro. Salute to you. He said, "Go get Spida." Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna go into that a little bit later. But to continue on, Farron Hunt, who has been putting on a show throughout this whole summer league for the Knicks, 4 or 10 from the field, 1 or 2 from the three, 1 or 2 from the stripe. He had 10 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, along with 2 steals, and he had 3 turnovers as well. He had an okay game, nothing crazy, but he's been really solid throughout. I hope that we sign him into a two-way contract because I don't know. I think he will be solid off the bench. Jericho Sims. Sims has been doing pretty solid. He's not really going to miss a lot of shots because he's mainly getting alley oops and a little post shots, but he went 4 for 5. And something that has been bad, and I think, I don't know, don't quote me on this because I think this is what I read. I don't remember the exact stat, but we know last season Jericho Sims was struggling a lot from the free throw line, and it's been happening continuously here as well during Summer League. He went 5 and 9 this game, and I don't know if I'm right. They said something like 8 of 25 or something crazy like that. I'm not sure about that. If someone can fact check me, but he's been shooting horrendously. They said like 41%, so it's probably not 8 of 25. Something a little more than that. But he did have 13 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, as well as 1 block. Quentin Grimes, like I said, Quentin Grimes didn't really have a good game, and I can give him a pass because he's been playing good throughout the whole entire summer league mainly. But this game, 5 of 16, 2 11 from the three, 7 to 10 from the stripe, 19 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists, along with 1 steal. It's not really the best performance, and it sucked, especially because it had to come, like, the bad game had to come during the finals game, and you saw him struggle out there. He really couldn't get his shot. He was shooting wide open shots, just couldn't make them fall. Then we got Deuce Mcbride, who hasn't been going crazy this summer league, but he's been playing, decent, I would say, compared to his standards of what he has been doing in the G League. He had 17 points, 6 rebounds, along with 3 assists and 1 steal. He went 4 of 10 from the field, 2 of 5 from three, perfect from the stripe. And I think throughout the summer league he's been solid, but I don't know. He hasn't shown. I don't know. You guys let me know. I haven't really seen too much improvement from Deuce McBride. That's just me though. I really haven't. Um, Continue on. We got Daquan Jeffries, 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Not much to say about him. Gene Montero, who a lot of people really liked, especially getting him from undrafted. He was supposedly supposed to be a late first round pick, early second, but he ended up being undrafted. We picked him up. I think he's been okay. But I don't know. I think he might have been a little overhyped. I really haven't seen too much from him, especially this game. He was having a really bad game. Potter, another guy that we picked up, he had a good game. He went 5 of 6 in 11 minutes, 10 points and 3 rebounds. But yeah, that's basically it for this. The Knicks lost by, let's see, by 8 points. They were up for a majority of this game. It was really tough to watch. I don't know. I was getting bored. It was a little boring to watch. But I mean, I'm not mad about us losing because, to be honest, I personally don't care too much about the summer league like that. I just want to see improvement, and that was basically it with that. Um, but yeah, let me see. So I don't know. You guys, let me know regarding the summer league. Who did you think stood out the most to you? Do you think anyone improved? My personal opinion, I do think that Grimes showed improvement, but at the same time, he hasn't showed me anything new that I didn't know beforehand. I think he was playing pretty decent most of the time, but you still see the little things that he has to improve on. I didn't see too much, off the dribble shooting, which is something that, to me personally, I've been harping on throughout the season since we drafted him. That I want to see him be more comfortable shooting that off the dribble shot and making it fall, because I do think that is a step for him to take. But for now, I still see him in his role as a 3-and-D player. But he could expand in the future, of course. But I just think that's what he is right now. Salute to my guy Will Salkin. What's good? Hope you've been good. I've been good. I've been chilling. I hope you've been good as well. Let's see what Mixed Sports said. McBride struggled getting to the basket, which makes his game really sporadic, relying on pick and rolls and dishing it out the open man or shooting a straight jump shot. I agree with you. I mean, it was a little strange because, I think he's been doing a good job, especially in the G League. I mean, the G League is kind of, I don't know. You guys let me know what is better, the G League or the Summer League. I think that's, you could just base it off whatever you think. But I personally don't know. But he was cooking in the G League. He was going to the basket. He does everything well in there. But I don't know. He hasn't really been doing as good as I expected in the what's it called, in the Summer League. We got my guy Jay Boogie in here as well. Salute to Jay Boogie. Dropping the link if anyone wants to join it. He said, shout out to the chat. That like button. The Duke is in the building. Keels is smart. Coming out this year, drafted second round. If he came out next year, he's not drafted at all. At triple capital S is all love. Yeah, I appreciate you, Jay Boogie. Shout out to Jay Boogie. We all know who Jay Boogie is. Yeah, no, I agree. Keels, I don't know. I'm not gonna kill Keels at all, and I've seen people killing him because he's 18 years old. I can't kill an 18-year-old that went late in the second round. I mean, mid-second round. That just doesn't seem fair at all. It really doesn't. I think he could improve his game. The main thing I did see is kind of like he gets scared to attack the basket, and he's mainly looking to spot up shoot. But he is putting effort on the defensive end, which is something that I do like about him. I still think he'll be fine though. He is smart definitely for coming out this year. They said Eric Surreal said trade Obi, Miles, and Grimes. You have to keep IQ and Cam. Jay Boogie misses saying Hadouken on. Keels needs work. He can be Lou Dort. Lou Dort, I don't know Lou Dort because I can't really personally see it. I guess you can say the body type is similar to Lou Dort, but in general, I don't personally think he is the same type of player. Because he's definitely gonna in general in his NBA career, I think that Keels compared to Dort would be a better playmaker. Defender, definitely not. And I just think they will play different roles with their teams. We got still Knicks fan in here as well. What's good, Knicks family? Salute to the chat. Salute to Hadouken. Good to see you. I appreciate it. I'm glad to be back. I'm gonna be in here up and under just seeing what's up because to be honest, there's not really a crazy amount. I just don't want to talk about the same thing every single time. So I keep it at a low amount of streams. But I'll definitely pop in a lot more than I have before. Let's see. But yeah, if you haven't already, make sure to check out Still Knicks fan. Most of you probably have already. We already know. Make sure to check out him and Ron. They do a good job. And yeah, let me continue on. The next, going away from Keels and going back to McBride. McBride, like this is the thing. I'm not gonna completely kill someone in the summer league or say that they haven't drastically improved because we gotta remember that the season just ended like 2 months ago, and they still have 3 months to train. get better at their craft, whatever specifically they need to. And right now it's still July. The season starts in late October. I can't presumably be worried about someone's skill not being better at this time. It just wouldn't make sense, and I don't think that's fair at all. To the players as well. Says salute to Still Knicks fan. Salute to Geraldine as well. I don't know if I got you. Salute to you. So I don't know this. The thing with Donovan Mitchell, because I know you guys are putting down the Donovan Mitchell. That's the hot topic right now. It's an interesting thing, but I don't know specifically when this trade goes down. But in my personal opinion, I think it's like a guarantee. I think there's no way that we let him go. And I don't know, all signs just form to it. Everything aligns with Donovan Mitchell being a Knick. But the biggest part is what you're willing to give up. And from what I heard and everything I've been hearing, seeing tweets about, whatever on Twitter and all that good stuff, everyone has a different, package and thinking about Donovan Mitchell. But at the same time, I'm seeing a lot of people be scared of trading for him, and they think that it's not really what can I say? It's not really something that will boost us into being a contender. Um, yeah, but before I get into that, I want to kind of continue with Grimes now, after Deuce, because a lot of people have been hype about Grimes, and I mean he has been really good. Before this game, I'm pretty sure he was ranked the number one for MVP for the summer league, and he deserved it. He was doing really well. I don't know if it's just me, but I don't. Have you guys seen anything new from Grimes? I think he was attacking the basket a lot better, 100% during the summer league. But other than that, I haven't really seen a little bit too much of anything that I was new, like watching from him skill wise, because he's been getting a good amount of assists and he's been playmaking. But we already knew that he has playmaking as his skill set because he did play point guard in college before he had to change up and change his game to 3-and-D in Houston. So I don't know. I think that I'm not even gonna say this because I don't think he's gonna be on the team next season because I do think he's gonna be part of a package for Donovan Mitchell. But I do think that he's gonna be someone that's gonna be better next season, still continuing to grow in his role, but also show a little bit of glimpses of other parts of his game. That's how I feel about Grimes. And to move on to Sims, it's weird because a lot of people like Sims, and a lot of people also like they had him being better than Mitch. They were like, oh, Sims at one point can be better than Mitch. But people fail to realize that Sims is legit the same age as Mitch. He is nowhere close to being as good as him. Salute to my guy John Talento was good. Salute to you. Appreciate you for being here. If you guys haven't already, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Turn that notification bell on as well. I appreciate it. Someone in the Knicks organization needs to get Grimes to see a dermatologist. What's your trade package? I'm gonna give my trade package in a little bit. Right after I finish talking about Sims, because I don't know if people are gonna like it, but there's just one. There's just one. He said, King Ruby salute. He said, a salute. Long time no post. Yeah, I dropped like 2 videos. Just random videos about like the Brunson stuff in the draft when it was going on. But I don't know. I was just a little off of it, not really wanting to post too much because I felt like there was a lot of same things being talked about. King Ruby salute, Big Shiesty. That's my guy, Big Shiesty, right there. We fight together all the time. Not against each other, but we fight for the same reasons. I respect Big Shiesty a lot. But yeah, Sims. I've seen some things from Sims where he's showing a little bit of different moves. I'm seeing him try to shoot a little bit of fadeaways in the post, those little mini fadeaways. He hasn't hit one, but he's been attempting it. And he's been showing, I guess you can say, his handle a little bit. He's been dribbling a bit, trying to get a little euro. I think he got last game as well. I think he's been really solid, and I mean I'm not surprised. Sims is a solid player. I think he's 23 years old right now. He's solid. But the thing that especially today, he was getting cooked like on defense. Like his defense was not good. They kept going at him, especially towards the ender parts of the game. and he was legit like he couldn't stop them. It was bad. He actually could not stop anyone on defense. They were coming at him. They were coming at the paint, Fair and Hunt. They just kept pushing them away. It was just bad. We couldn't guard anyone, and it was hard to watch. It was hard to watch. We need to keep Grimes. There's a reason why teams want him. I mean, I don't think it's more about teams wanting him because it's just the Jazz. They have certain preferences. Um, and now that I talked about Sims, I'm gonna go ahead and we could talk about the Donovan Mitchell trade because it's interesting because they came out I think a few days ago. It might it hasn't been a week yet. They came out a few days ago talking about how the Knicks are a serious suitor for Donovan Mitchell, and I mean, of course, it makes sense. You know, the CAA ties. We've been looking at him for a while. I think we are all not surprised at all because that's something that I expected once he was announced to be available. That the Knicks will be the number one suitors or at least top two because we have the most assets. But the thing, one thing I'm gonna say first is that Ian Begley, SNY, they reported that before the draft, I don't know if it was before the draft, but it was more than like it was around like 1 to 2 weeks ago where the Jazz were trying to get a package of R.J. Barrett, Mitchell Robinson, and at least 3 first round picks for Donovan Mitchell, and we declined. And then after that, we told them that RJ is untouchable in this trade, and we're not trading them. And it switched over to them saying that the Jazz don't want RJ, because obviously we're not giving him up. And then they're trying to add on saying that they want no long-term contracts getting added back to them because they want rookie scale contracts. No one that's getting signed right now. That's why Grimes is someone that's really interesting to them because him, Obi, and IQ are the three players that we have. And I mean, you could say McBride, but McBride, he definitely doesn't have value compared to a guy like Grimes and Obi and IQ. He's on a whole different level. And that's why they want Grimes now. Grimes is the player that they find, attractive in that sense. And I know what you're saying, Geraldine, but I am not letting Grimes be no decider for me getting Donovan Mitchell. I'm easily giving him up. And you guys asked me about your package, and I want to know your package as well. I'll say my package right now, but you guys let me know how you feel about mine. Mine, and this is what I think is gonna happen. It's gonna be similar to it. I think it's gonna be Grimes. That's one of them. Grimes, IQ, Evan Fournier, Derrick Rose, and I think it's gonna be 5 first-round picks. That's something that I think might happen. 5 to 6 first-round picks. And it sounds like a lot, but at the same time, there's no way you can get him without giving anything less than that. You just can't. And I do think that he's gonna be a Knick by next season. Like there's just no way. I think about it, especially if you're looking at the draft and who is the owner or GM. I forgot what he is, but Danny Ainge is just not gonna let this slide. He's not letting Donovan Mitchell come back next season. And you got to think about it from an aspect of team rebuilding. And Danny Ainge from the past, he is pretty good at rebuilding. He knows what he's doing. And when you look at a draft, especially one that's supposed to come up right now and be generational and be a lot better than that 2022 class that we just had not too long ago, he is going to want to trade Donovan Mitchell and tank and get a better player out of this draft rather than waiting and having Donovan Mitchell there during the season and run some BS. He's definitely going to want to trade Spida right now, get value, rebuild, get a top pick. They could, Wembanyama, every single person wants him right now. You see the Spurs just traded DeJounte Murray. They want Wembanyama. The Jazz, that's just something that I think Danny Ainge is gonna do. Danny Ainge is too smart to not do something like that. It just makes too much sense in my opinion. And that's why I don't think Donovan Mitchell will be on the Jazz at all. I think he's 100% gonna be a Knick, and I mean, I can't say 100%, but I do think he's gonna be a Knick. And I think it's gonna happen within the next 2 weeks. That's what I think. I honestly think 2 of the 3 in Grimes, Obi, and IQ will get traded if a Donovan Mitchell trade happens. Let's hope it does. Well, this is me. I think Donovan. I think Grimes is a guarantee to be in the package. So I think you just have to do. I mean, preference wise, whoever they ask, it's either OB or IQ. That's the second player added to that. And then I think it's gonna be two salary guys, which I think is Derrick Rose and Evan Fournier. That's what I would say. The Jazz are not taking on Evan contract. He just wants picks and young players that are still on their rookie contract. I know what you're saying, Geraldine, but you also got to understand that Donovan Mitchell makes 30 plus million. You need something to match it. Rookie scale contracts aren't adding up to his contract. So you're going to have to trade Evan Fournier and Derrick Rose to make it match. Because, what's it called? I think Grimes makes like 1 to 2 mil. IQ makes the same amount, like 2 mil. Obi makes 8 mil though, so that's different. He makes like 7 to 8 mil. And what's his name? Evan Fournier makes 18, and Derrick Rose makes 12.5 mil. I'm pretty sure. So it would be Derrick Rose and Fournier right there will add up to around 30 million, and then you add Grimes in there, that's 32 million, and you add an IQ in there, that's 34. So I mean, you basically match up Donovan Mitchell's contract. But it also matters about if they're just giving us Donovan Mitchell, they might throw us some throw-ins as well. It really depends. You never know. But yeah, that's what I do think is gonna happen. And let me know what is the most you're giving up for Donovan Mitchell? Because I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm pretty sure they said that another package that they offered the Knicks to get Donovan Mitchell, and this is insane. They said they wanted 6 or 7 first round picks. They wanted Emmanuel Quickly, Obi Toppin, Quentin Grimes, and Deuce McBride. They wanted all 4 and 6 first round picks, which I found a little insane. I'm so glad. Like, there's no reason they think Leon is stupid enough to even do that. It just makes no sense at all. But yeah, that is how I feel towards the Donovan Mitchell thing. A lot of people regarding let's pretend that Donovan Mitchell is on the team right now. We just got Jalen Brunson, who I told you guys before. I think that Brunson is good, but I don't know how good he could be on this team. I think he's gonna be fine though. Like his contract is fine, 26, 27 mil. I don't think it's anything crazy. 5 first, even 6. If it's 5, give them 2 players. If it's 6, take 1 player. You see, salute to Lozo, by the way. I don't know if you're new. I don't think this is a type of thing where you can just choose. Like, let's say it's Grimes. I'm not. I don't know, because I've seen people say they'd rather give them an extra pick or 2 instead of giving up on Grimes, but I just don't. I wouldn't do that. It just makes no sense. I feel like we're putting too much value on guys that are on the team, and I like the young players we have to a certain extent. I'm not as high on some of them as everyone else, but you got to give something up. And I'm willing to give up 2 young players, 2 of the vets, and 5 first round picks. Max I'm giving up is 6 first round picks to get Donovan Mitchell. And another way to think about it is that on draft night when we had that 11th pick where we drafted Usman, I don't know how to say it, Dang. We got 3 first round picks from the OKC Thunder. They're heavily protected and they're like late picks. But at the same time, if, for example, we're giving up 6 picks, 3 of them are those picks, it doesn't really seem too much to me because we did a 1-for-3 trade and then we're using those 3 to get Donovan Mitchell. So we would be giving up those 3 picks in my eyes, 2 unprotected picks. I think one of them would have to be from 2026. We give them the Mavs pick from 2023. And I don't know where that last pick is from, if it goes to 6. But it would probably have to be in... I don't know. I don't really... It gets me mad because I don't want to give up the 2023 pick. That's ours. Because I just want to keep 1 pick from there. I want to get some talent. I think it's going to be 5 firsts. Obi, Grimes, Fournier, and Rose. That's fair. That's basically what I think too. But just switch out IQ with Obi. How many unprotected picks are you giving up, Hadouken? That might be something that's stalling the deal. I read that they said they wanted four unprotected picks, but I just don't think that's realistic at all. Nobody's giving you that. People just don't have that many unprotected picks they're willing to trade up for a player. It doesn't make too much sense to me. Um, Max I would give up is three unprotected picks. I'm not giving up more than that. That really is where I'm standing at. But I do really want to get this trade done. I think it's a trade that gets done within the next 2 weeks, and I don't know. It's a little weird because you see teams like they're talking about that the Heat want him as well, but they don't have assets at all compared to us. That's why they talk about us a lot when it's regarding voice crack, when it's regarding Donovan Mitchell, because we have 8 or 9 first round picks in the next 7 years, and nobody can beat that offer, especially when we also have decent young guys that we could give in that trade. But it just gets me mad because of the Rudy Gobert trade. It really does, because that just it just made everything go up, and it didn't need to go up. Will Salkin says Carmelo trade was only one unprotected first. Yeah, but at the same time, when you look at trades, you also got to look at the time that the trade happened, and that trade happened a while ago. People really weren't getting traded for too much like that. So, I mean, you got to look at it from a different aspect. Um, Wilson Ding said, "Hope that he pull it off. I do not want Mitchell. We have 223 first round picks. One is our own, and the other one is for Dallas. Yeah, that's why I'm saying I want to keep one of those picks, and I might want to keep the Mavs pick over ours because I don't really realistically know how far the Mavs can go. I don't. Um, we have 223. Oh no, my bad. Realistically, no one has a better chance than getting this trade done except OKC. Miami is the team trying to get him also, and they got 3 draft picks. If that, I know it sounds crazy, but we gotta wait. Salute to Adele Chapman, by the way. He says salute, wishing you success. I appreciate it. Hope you guys are all doing well. I appreciate you guys for being here because I have not been live in a minute, so I don't expect too many people to be here, to be honest, and that's for me to blame. But yeah, um, the Heat. So this is something that they're reporting. They keep talking about how the Heat are trying their best to trade guys like Duncan Robinson, and that they're looking for offers and like Max Strus, for example, to get first round picks. But I realistically don't think there's any way they could get firsts. They don't have guys that have value on their team. They have a lot of role players, but those role players do not, they're not guys that will get you like late first round picks. Maybe at best one of them can get you that, but they have two firsts of their own that I'm pretty sure they could trade, and then they have Tyler Hero, and they don't want Tyler Hero because they don't want that long term contract. That's why he hasn't gotten his extension yet either. They do not want that. And you talked about OKC. OKC, of course, is always like when you think of a trade in general, OKC is gonna come from the back of your mind because they have so many assets, including their draft picks. But yeah, they're just there. They're never really gonna do a move. I think they're just gonna wait continuously, um, until you look and see what you do with Shea. They just got Chet. They have a good young core going there. They're just gonna chill out, not really do much. And knowing OKC, they could somehow get Wemby this season as well because they just know how to tank professionally. Um, OKC has so many guards. Yeah, they got Theo Maladone, Shea, Josh Giddey, Trey Man. Now they got 2 Jalen Williams. It's insane. They're gonna have to trade some, eventually. And you guys know how I feel about Josh Giddey. I said this before, and you know how I feel about Shea. I really like Shea. I want him as a Knick. It's not gonna happen. He's probably gonna be a Raptor, but Shea is nice. Josh Giddey. I don't know if you guys been peeping summer league with the OKC Thunder, but Josh Giddey has been basically doing what I said he is and what he can. Um, his playmaking, we all knew this. Josh Giddey was gonna be a good playmaker no matter what. He's showing a lot more playmaking that I expected personally, but other than playmaking, he really hasn't showed me much that I didn't know. I knew he can't finish. I knew he can't really score effectively, and that's what's happening right now. I think he's gonna continuously be limited until he learns how to score. Um, because I don't know, he's a 6'8" point guard that can't shoot, doesn't shoot well, and he doesn't go into the paint as much as he should. It's really tough with him. He's gonna be limited until he learns how to score. That's really my opinion on him. But I do eventually expect some of those guards to be traded. Um, but Jalen Williams, he's nice. He's really nice. He's been playing really good throughout the whole summer league. I've been watching them. He's been really cold. The way he has been cutting right now in the summer league, the way he cuts, he looks like one of the best cutters in the league. Of course, you don't know if that transitions to the NBA, but he has really high IQ regarding driving into the paint and cutting. And he gets the attention of Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey's a really good passer, and it just works hand in hand. So it's been good to watch that in the summer league, as well. But yeah, let me know. What trade packages are you giving for Donovan Mitchell? Because I think the consensus, some people, I've been hearing some people give the craziest trade packages. Like, they're like, I'm not giving up no young guys. I'm giving 8 first round picks. Like, no, I'm not doing that. That's insane to say. I really don't understand what people be talking about. Um, I'm not. This is just me personally. I'm not giving up extra picks to keep players. I'm not doing that because, to me personally, if you do have Jalen Brunson and you have a Donovan Mitchell right now, I don't see a point of keeping a guy like IQ on the team. I think Obi Toppin might be best fit in that lineup. Um, that's just where I stand. I know we might be indifferent in that, but I don't know. I want to see what you guys think about that. Adele Chapman said, "You want Soto or Judge?" It's talking about baseball. Um, I've been watching a little bit baseball recently, to be honest. Um, but yeah, Judge has been doing pretty good, to be honest, from what I've been watching. Something else I do kind of want to talk about as well is how RJ. This is just a hypothetical, of course, if this trade would go down. How RJ Brunson and Spida would look together, and it's a little interesting because my main worry, and I think this should be all of our worries, is defense. Because in a backcourt of Spida and Jalen Brunson, they're both 6'1". I'm pretty sure. Spida, I think, is listed as 6'1" or 6'2", but he's mainly like 6'1". 6'1", 6 foot. Same goes for Jalen Brunson. They're both short, and they're gonna get killed on the defensive end 100%. Even though if their offense is gonna be good, it doesn't really matter because we're still gonna get cooked on defense. But the thing to me that gives me hope with the defense is that Spida, coming out of college of Louisville, he was a pretty good defender, and in his rookie year, I think as well he was pretty good. And then after that, it kind of fell off a cliff. But I do think coming into a different scenario and scenery, and being with a coach like Tibbs and just the way we play defense, which is team defense, I think it could definitely be something that would work. Maybe. Duke, that's a small backcourt. I'm worried about the defense. Yo, I'm worried about the defense 100%. This is the thing that bothers me because if we didn't get Brunson and we would just be going for Spida and we would have, like, let's say Spida and RJ together instead of having a Jalen Brunson, it would make most of the fan base and most people in general be a lot more accept this type of trade a lot more, because then you wouldn't have to worry about defense because RJ 6'6", no, not 6'6", RJ 6'7", and Spida is 6'1", but now that you have Jalen Brunson, you got another 6 footer. How are you gonna play defense? We're really gonna need to figure it out because we all know this. Randall is a willing defender. He's not a special defender at all. Especially last season, he was trash. But he would need to buy in so bad for us to make this work, defensive wise. Because me personally, I think with that trio, you could definitely let it slide the defense mainly throughout the regular season, but in in the playoffs, it will be something that would really kill us. It really would. If we move IQ and McBride, we do have Rokas in the mix, assuming we promise him minutes. To be honest, when thinking about our team, I never really think about Rokas because I don't think he's ever coming here. To be honest, I don't think he's coming here. He might be someone that could just be a throw-in into the trade too. To be honest, I don't know if we will get cooked on defense. That maybe get debunked considering Mitch has a long wingspan, and I think he would commit on defensive end. What about the bench? I was just about to get into the bench as well, because assuming we make that trade, there are bench pieces that are going to be removed, so we don't have as much depth. So this is why I want the trade to kind of happen within the next 2 weeks, because you let the trade happen, and then afterwards, I need Leon to get some guys for depth on the bench. Maybe some free agents that are left. I don't really know who's left on free agency, or make some trades to get some extra bench pieces. Let me give an example. Dwayne Washington, he's on the Pacers. He just got waived. He's a guy that shoots really well from the three. That could be a solid bench piece. Let's say, for example, if we get Donovan Mitchell, and we lose guys like IQ, Fournier, and Grimes who could all shoot. Get him off the bench. He's a sharpshooter. He played for the Pacers last season. He shot 38% on 4.5 attempts, which is pretty good. I would be fine with getting him, but I would really worry about the bench's depth 100%. Another thing that will help us out though with defense is Mitch, because we got Mitch back now. I'm so happy Mitch is back, because I feel like our fan base underrates Mitch a little too much, for my liking, because there's obviously some bad things that he can't really do that well. But at the same time, we can't ignore that he's one of the best offensive rebounders in the league, and he's also one of the best defenders. Like, we can't ignore that. And he gives us a lot for the team. And I hate the constant disrespect with Mitch. I feel like he's disrespected way too much, personally. But it's tough. The defense is tough. That's my, like, if you ask me about this, I don't care truly about the amount we have to give up for Donovan Mitchell. I care about the defense. That's my main worry. I really don't think anything else is gonna be some like things we have to worry about. Like, let's say Randall. This could be a minor one, but having Mitchell, Randall, Brunson, and RJ on the same team sounds a little hectic, because I feel like all of them need the ball in their hands. Like, my personal thing would be trading Randall as well, maybe finding a third team, or having a separate trade to get Randall off the team, because I don't know if he will buy in. I really don't. I feel like every single person on the team would have to buy in for this to work out, as well as I hope it will. Because I think that if this deal does get done, I think the Knicks could be a top 6 seed in the NBA. I think we will be looking at like 5 to 6 or 7, based on how well they perform. But I do think that, like, you gotta expect things. I expect Mitch to get better next season, 100%. I think he's gonna show us a little bit more. I think that Jalen Brunson, to me personally, I feel like Knicks fans a little too much from what I've seen. I really think that they expect Brunson to be a crazy scorer for us, but in the regular season, he wasn't a crazy scorer for the Mavs. He mainly scored like a crazy amount in the playoffs because he started scoring off of necessity and Luka being out. But I expect him, and this might sound crazy, but hear me out. I expect him to take the role that I wanted Kemba to take last season and be that initiator, but we all knew Kemba didn't have that in him. I want Jalen Brunson to be the initiator of the team. I think that Spida's going to be our number 1 scorer if this happens. RJ our number 2. Then, Randall and Brunson, whatever order you want to do, you can do it. But I really want Jalen Brunson to be that guy that initiates the offense, helps it out, play make, get the guys in their spots, catch them when they're in their spots that they have open. And you look at Randall, I need Julius Randall to, this is something I wanted him to do last season as well, but it's so annoying. What's good, Momo? Shout out to you. What's good, Momo? This is the thing I wanted Randall to do last season, but we didn't have a point guard that could do this, or anyone with a big ego to kill his. But I need Jalen Brunson and everyone else on the team to force him to lock in so he can be. He always starts off deep in the post, which makes no sense. He starts off deep in the post when he should be starting towards like around that free throw line, get better positioning. And I need guys like Jalen Brunson and Donovan Mitchell to make that a priority for him. And Tibbs, tell him to stay in that mid post area around the free throw line, and you catch him with a pass. You set him up. He gets in his spot, and you pass him the ball. That's what I need him to do. That's the only way I will really accept Julius Randle being back next season. Because if he's still doing the same exact thing, it's gonna piss me off. I'm gonna be honest, and I think it's gonna piss most of us off because I can't deal with another Randle like season where he's just not really paying attention and putting effort forward. Because we could really be a good team if everybody buys in, but if people don't buy in, well, it's just gonna be a failure. It really is. But I don't know. I just think that if you have that trio in general, though, of Jalen Brunson, RJ, and Spida, I think no matter what, that gets you in the playoffs. But when you look at an aspect of it getting you in those higher seeds, it depends on how well they mesh. Because I really hope this isn't like last season. I remember, and you guys can quote me on this because I said this and everyone said I was wrong. Then I was right. Everyone kept saying after 10 games, I'm not worried. The chemistry is going to get together. We'll be fine. 20 games in, they said the same thing. 30 games in, they said the same thing. 40 games in, they said the same thing. And I told them, I said, you can't constantly say that because at what point are they really going to do it? At what point are they really going to get their chemistry together and everything just flows well? And 82 games in, it didn't happen. And I don't want that to happen again. I hope it's going to be one of those quick, they have a lot of friendships within each other. RJ's cool with Spida. Brunson and him have known each other for a while. CAA, all that stuff, whatever. I really hope that comes into the picture and helps us out. Because if it doesn't, I'm going to be really mad. I really am going to be mad if it doesn't work out. But I want you guys to let me know what your main worries will be with that lineup right there with Jalen Brunson. Because not with Jalen Brunson, but if we did have that team going on, because I'm thinking of the starting lineup. Let's say the starting lineup is Jalen Brunson, Spida, RJ, Randle, and Mitch. And when I think about it, it sounds weird. And Momo just brought up a good question. Can Julius Randle be an off-ball player? That's a big question mark because I put an emphasis on this for a while now. A lot of people in the Knicks world would ever ask, what is Julius Randle on a championship team? Is he a 2, 3, or 4, whatever he is? I don't think he's a 3 or a 4. I think he's a 6-man off the bench. And I'll tell you why. I say that because he can't play off the ball. And if you are going to be on a championship team, if you are going to be that type of player that helps win a chip, you need to know how to play off the ball. And Julius Randle cannot play off the ball, and he refuses to. You just watch him during the games. He really can't play off the ball. He always needs the ball in his hand, which really makes it hard for us to, get into a rhythm. He always loves taking a lot of chunk of the shot clock, and it hurts the team. It's just really annoying to watch. It really is. Any way we can get involved with Charlotte in their power forward position. You see, that's a question that got brought up a lot. I've seen it a lot on Twitter as well, because with that whole Miles Bridges situation, which is really unfortunate on both ends, they have a lot of money that they need to pay, and I don't know. I thought about it. Would you? Nah, this hurts thinking about it. But Julius Randle for Gordon Hayward type of thing would hurt me. I'd rather just stay with Randle at that point. To be honest, I don't know. We gotta find a third team or a second team, maybe, a random team to trade him off into, because I just don't think he fits with the team. His play style is just not good enough for it to work out. In my personal opinion, it really isn't. And I hope, we've all seen that he got slimmer. I think he's taking the season a lot more serious. I hope that he actually plays well and locks in, because I know that this might not be a a championship team, but I do think it will put us in the right direction. And I think it could really it could get us around that high tier of teams. I wouldn't say the Celtics, I'll say in the East, the Celtics and Bucks right now are on their own tier. And then the second tier I would say is the Sixers, the Heat, and then I would say the next tier is us, the Raptors, and what are other teams in the East? Let me think. Us, the Raptors, and the Hawks. I think that's another tier, and I think we're in that tier right there. We could be around where the Philadelphia 76ers are because they're an interesting team, but they get a lot of injuries and stuff like that. But that's pretty much where I'm looking at for us in projection for next season. And I hope it goes into fruition. I really do. If we get Spida, we have to run. We can't keep killing the clock and having less possessions. Let the PG bring the ball up, Randall, and get to your spots. I agree with you. You get a guy like Spida. Spida loves running. He's really athletic. Jalen Brunson can push the ball. RJ can push the ball. Mitch is very athletic. He could do whatever you need him to do, whatever. But Randall is that player that is gonna make everything connect or disconnect. That really is what it is. And if you think about it, this is why I say, even though I like IQ more than Obi, Obi fits that slot at the 4 a lot better than Randall does because we could run a lot more and run a lot of plays where we can get Obi a lot of free lobs and a lot of spot ups or under the rim, shots where he can just move with a hook. He can get a little spin move in, a little pick and roll action as well, because RJ can run the pick and roll pretty well as well. And if you have him with Obi, it will work out. Jalen Brunson can do the same. He hasn't been able to showcase too much of his passing because he plays with Luka, but he definitely has some passing that can help out within the team. Spida as well. Spida is a pretty decent playmaker, I would say, as well. He could get those passes as well. But it really all folds on Randall and if he's still on the team. It really does. Do you really think Tibbs going to just play these young guys and no veterans? No, I don't. But if you think about it, even though Spida and Jalen Brunson are young, they're still technically veterans at this point. They're kind of vets. I know we let Taj go. Taj had to go at one point. I'm surprised that he didn't retire. I didn't think a team would want him, but the Wizards got him. I'm trying to think who do we have left vet wise. Derrick Rose and Fournier, right? And Randall is a vet also. He's gonna be in the starting lineup. Yeah, we only have 2 vets, and I think those vets are gonna be traded. So I actually don't know. That's a good question. I don't. This is where I say that I think after the Spida move happens, I think we get guys off free agency or we trade like some small trades maybe to get some role players, but we really don't have too much depth. I'm thinking of more of a 3-team deal with Randall, Jazz, and Charlotte. Yeah, I think that would make sense maybe if we could get a trade down like that. I'm gonna be honest with you. After 2 years, after 2 years, you guys will end up deciding between keeping Mitchell or Brunson if you want to get at the first round of the playoffs. Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I do agree with you because this is another thing where it gets confusing because you just paid Brunson $27 million with new CBA. It's obviously going to go up, but you're paying Julius Randle around $24 million next season. You're paying Jalen Brunson about 27. Donovan Mitchell, if he will be here, it will be around 30. I think like 33 to 35 mil, something around there. And then RJ is gonna get his extension. He's gonna be around 25 to. I think he's gonna be like around 27 mil. I think that's what his contract is gonna be. He's gonna be right there. And then you got Mitch at 15 mil. Your whole starting lineup, that is really expensive, and it's gonna be hard to get another added piece into that without having without trading someone. And I do think that if you think about it, Jalen Brunson will be that piece that will be traded away in the next 2 years. If you're thinking about contracts, um, yeah, that's what I do think will happen. If you're talking about that scenario, you. But I'm gonna be honest with you, Momo. I think that team, with whatever, if we have more depth, I think it could get to the second round. I don't think it's first round exit type. I do think that if they do figure it out on defense, I think they will be a team that could get to the second round. We got some people that just joined us. Salute to my guy Stephen Fox. I hope all is well with you as well. A long time no see. My guy Mike Johnson's in here as well. He talking about Randall again. He said Randall holding RJ and the young guys back by ball hogging the way he does. Hopefully that doesn't happen this time. Let me get Momo in here. Wait, my bad. Yo. Wait, let me add you to the screen. Salute. By the way, shout out to William as well. Shout out to you from Brazil. I'm glad you're watching. Shout out to you. If you haven't already, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe, turn that notification bell on. I appreciate you guys for being here as well. Oh, and my guy Be Civilized as well. What's good, bro? He said, good to see you. Hope all is well. I will call Sacramento or Raptors to get involved with the Jazz for Mitchell and trade Randall for either for either OG or Barnes. I think that's just not realistic at all, to be honest. You know, if you just look at it from a standpoint, OG is better than Randall because he plays defense too. And then Scotty Barnes is a young prodigy that they just won't trade off. Yo, Momo, what's good? Let me add this.
Yo, what's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I could hear you. What's up, bro? Oh wait, why is this the wrong thing? Yeah, my bad. Go ahead. I have to fix this real quick so I can show.
No, I was saying like from choosing between Brunson and Mitchell, I think just because of how small the backcourt is, you're gonna have to prioritize one of them at the end if you really want to like hit your ceiling as like a team. I think that's one of the things Jazz failed to doing with Donovan Mitchell is not making him like the primary point guard, and bringing in Mitchell or not Mitchell, bringing in Mike Conley, with them as a backcourt, which they shouldn't have done that in my opinion, especially when you have someone that small as your like two guard.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's weird. Um, Spida and Mike Conley, that was just a weird trade to begin with. And the way I thought about it when it did go down is that Mike Conley is gonna be like a when Kyle Lowry was on the Raptors. I thought it was gonna be that type of situation, and I think that is how it looked like towards the beginning. But Mike Conley has kind of regressed since, especially last season, and he's also gotten injured. He made the All Star team, which I still don't understand how he made the All Star team the season before because of injury. But it just all hasn't worked out because besides Rudy Gobert on that Jazz team, you didn't really have too much defense. Royce O'Neal is, I guess you can call him a 3-and-D player, but to be honest, he was getting cooked a lot. You look
Yeah.
at Spida. Spida didn't play defense except his rookie year, and he was getting cooked on defense. You saw it in the playoffs. You look at Mike Conley. Mike Conley is everyone is cooking Mike Conley. He doesn't play defense either like that. He can't even just the way he's built. He's too short. Bojan Bogdanovic. He's also like he tries on defense. He's not a good defender. You look at Joe Ingles. Joe Ingles tries on defense, but he's old and he's too slow. Like I don't know. It's weird. It really is. He was put in a weird situation. I'm not giving. By the way, I'm not giving Donovan Mitchell no excuses at all. Because I've liked Donovan Mitchell since he's been drafted out of Louisville. I like his game a lot, and I saw defensive potential from him from his rookie year, but he just fell off a cliff. I just don't even know. This dude said Ingles is slower than Gallo. He definitely is slower than Gallo, and he just tore something too, right? What did he tear?
Yeah, he tore his ACL.
ACL, right?
It was against the Wolves.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
against your Wolves. Yo, and one thing, by the way, Momo is a Wolves fan, but I was telling someone this in a Knicks group chat. I was saying that someone that I do think we need that would help out a lot is a Jaden McDaniels type, like that could guard at that 4 and that could shoot and space it out. That's what I would love for our team. and I wanted to draft him, which gets me mad a lot constantly. He is so
Yeah,
nice. Oh my god.
you'd be a great role player.
Yeah, he plays his role perfectly. I love players like that. He plays his role perfectly. How do you think you're gonna be the Wolves? How do you think they're gonna end up playing out? And how happy are you with that trade for Rudy?
Well, I mean, we overpaid for Rudy. That's for one. Like, I didn't expect him to go for like 4 first round picks. I thought like 2, 3 maybe, but like that was an overpay. But at the same time, I think what they're prioritizing is like having Ant and betting on him to like taking them in like a championship type window where Rudy will take you to the playoffs when it's time. But like if you are looking to win a championship, it's all up to like how Ant or Jaden develop, how Cat plays. I think the other thing too with the Rudy trade is that like it was very hard to move D'Lo off the team, and like they thought instead of moving him, why not try to like help him in getting a person he would like thrive with Rudy.
Yeah, it's interesting to think with Rudy and Cat because they're like the polar opposites. Like they really are. It puts back Cat to that four, which I think like I don't know if you saw the Jaden Newman clip, the Julian Newman clip, how
Yeah,
Cat's gonna
I
play
seen
at the
that
four
tweet.
now. Yeah, it was funny, but he could actually like play like the way he wants to now instead of worrying about primarily playing defense, like trying to help out on the five. But it's gonna be weird still, I think, in the playoffs because I think you could get away with that in the regular season, 100%. But when you got guys like not guys, but teams like the Warriors where they could play Rudy off the floor, it's still gonna be a struggle. Like, how would you say you would play them if you had that? Do you completely put Rudy away, and let's say you run back to how you guys just did with like Jaden McDaniels at the four and Cat at the five?
See, I think from like a Rudy standpoint, I think he's not even that bad of a defender perimeter wise. Like, obviously he's gonna like if he's 1-on-1 with Steph Curry, like that's a huge mismatch no matter what. But like with the Jazz, he was forced to like guard the perimeter and then run into the paint and try to cover that up for like players and then run out to the corner too at the same time, which was like no human could do that. I also think during playoffs, like if a team changes and we're struggling, our coach isn't afraid to like switch it up, have Cat at the five, and then like if that doesn't even work, have Jaden at the five. Like he's very like willing to adapt, and I don't think that's like that bad at all, to be honest. But I think it's all up to Ant and how he progresses.
So let me read a few comments and then I want to ask you about Ant afterwards. Let me
Yeah.
see. Got it said Randall will freeze Spida, Brunson, RJ, and Mitch will dribble 20 seconds and shoot against doubles. Okay, you looking at it from an outside perspective, do you think the Knicks need to 100% trade Julius Randle to make this work better? Or you think there's a way that they could discipline him into actually playing a proper role within the team?
Um, I think you keep Julius Randle just to see how it works. Like, you guys, there's no like no one gets blamed if you guys lose in the first round of the playoffs like this coming season with Donovan Mitchell. I think you just experiment, and also like the Julius Randle contract, it's gonna look a lot better when the new CBA comes in and like that's negotiated upon. And I don't think it's will be like traded as like a negative asset during that time, but I think you experiment first. There's no like real like rush into trading him.
That kind of gets me. It gets me mad because I know he's not gonna get traded, so I have to accept another year with Julius Randle on my team. But all I could hope is that he buys in and locks in general. Because I don't know, I feel like he's taking the offseason more seriously. But you never know with Randle because he has a really big ego. But I think that if you do have guys like Jalen Brunson and Spida, that could definitely put him in check. And I do think that's what we needed. He said Brunson gonna be our Demar in a Kawhi trade. I know what you mean in that sense. Like when Momo was saying that you would have to trade in 2 years. That is, I guess you can say it in that way, but I do kind of agree with that. Conley ain't old. Conley just choked in the playoffs this year. He had a terrible playoffs. I'm not gonna lie, he had a terrible playoff series. Um, we should have drafted Tari Eason. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Tari Eason has looked better than Jabari Smith. Am I wrong? He has, right? I'm not too
He
sure.
has played better, but
Yeah,
yeah, Jabari Smith has just like not been hitting his shots that like they're even open too. The threes he's taking is just not going in. But Tari's outplayed him.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's funny because a lot of people, and this is why I say I don't overreact to summer league. A lot of people have said that this shows why he's the third pick, or people are now saying they should have took Keegan Murray at 3 or Jaden Ivey. Um, I don't know.
I mean, I
Jabari
don't
Smith
disagree.
is just not that. You don't disagree?
I didn't have him high. I had him in the same tier as Keegan and
Wait, you had him
Ivy.
at 5? No, I think when you
Yeah, I
drafted
did.
your mock draft, yeah, he had him at 5, and I was a little surprised. But I don't know. I don't see Jabari Smith as a star, but I do think he's that type of player that needs guys to set him up. That's why I don't really look at his summer league as anything crazy because he's still rebounding the ball and playing heavy defense, which I think is
Yeah.
really important for him. Um, them Wolves is what started this mess and put this Mitchell trade a very extremely high price. They definitely are a team that started it, and it
No, the
is
Paul
very annoying.
George. That the Wolves okay because of like it's this off season and like no one expected Rudy, but like this started with Paul George being traded for Shea in like 5 first.
I know what you're saying, but at the same time, that was that type of trade where you're getting Kawhi and you're getting PG, so you have to do that. And if we're being honest,
Yeah.
SGA at that point, like he showed out in that playoffs, in his rookie year, but other than that, he didn't really have much NBA experience or like value like that in a sense. Um, I would do that
Yeah.
any day if you confirm me Kawhi and PG. I'm doing that trade.
Yeah, you do it. You do it.
Yeah, you 100% do it. Um,
Yeah.
said Randall makes Luca look like a team player. That's crazy. Um, if we keep Randall, got to trade Obi. I don't know if you specifically have to trade Obi, but if they are asking for Obi, I will trade him in that Spida trade. Um, RJ and IQ shoot 4% better minimum if it weren't for Randall. Jabari has a line drive jumper needs arc. Yeah, he has a. I don't know. It's a strange jumper. I don't know if it reminds me of a. I don't know. He has a weird release, I will say, but it is also because he's really tall at the same time. Um,
Yeah.
Jabari handle is really sloppy even when driving to the bucket, but he's pretty solid defender and can shoot given space. A lot of people, I'm not wrong, right? A lot of people try calling him like a really good shot creator. Um,
Oh no, no.
coming
You
out,
no one if anyone called him a shot
they
creator,
was it
they
a
never
shot creator
watched
or was
him
it
like
a
film.
what was it? I don't know, but
Sharpshooter? I mean,
I swear I've seen people
usually.
say he was a shot creator, but I know he isn't.
No, no. He has no. That's the one of the reasons why I ranked him so low because he had like no shot creating ability. Like he settled every time you saw him get the ball, he would just shoot it as soon as he got it. Like minimum 2 dribbles.
The
Like
one thing I'll say though, his defense has looked really nice.
oh yeah,
A hundred
he
percent.
had very good defensive
Like better
ability.
than I expected. To be honest, I expected it to be decent, but he's shown a lot more impact on the defense. And like the last game they played, he got crazy. He got 2 crazy pack-ups. Trade Hadouken for
Yeah.
Spida. Yeah, that's not happening. Um, salute to Greg Castillo though. What's up to you? But he said it's in prayer that Randall and Tibbs' mind is right if we get Mitchell because at the end of the day, it's the coach to hold our players accountable and putting them in position to be successful. I agree, but at the same time, a coach can only say so much. Um, the player needs to buy in too. You can't just have it one side. It has to be a bit of both. Keegan Murray and Ben Mathurin are studs. I've been saying Ben Mathurin is a stud. I really like Ben Mathurin. He's gonna be nice, especially on the Pacers. He was also cooking. Like Obi because of low usage as compared to Randall. I think he fits better. I agree. The thing I was gonna ask you because I know you said this that people are putting too much pressure on Ant, but how
hmm
good do you think Ant can be next season?
I think I think he could be an all-star. I think he is probably gonna be focusing a lot on defensively. He really looked like he could be an All NBA player in the playoffs defensively. What he showed, and like I think he's a player that he just needs to have consistent games. Like he'll have like a 30-point game and then come in the next game drop like 5, which that's something that like goes along with being young. But I think he could have an all-star season. I'm not projecting like being a top 15, 20 type player yet, but he could have a really good season.
Yeah, you look at all these rankings that they put out, and he's always like at the top. Like let's say under 25 players, Ant
Yeah,
is always number one or number two. Like they got him. Who else? Luca, whatever. Ja. They always have him at top three. Um,
I know.
but I don't know. I think it's warranted at the same time because he was the number one pick, and the way he holds himself is like like the MJ thing, the whole MJ thing. Like he's always gonna have a lot of pressure on him. But I don't know. Me personally, I think he's gonna get better next season. But I don't know how much better he's gonna get. Like I can't expect him to go as crazy because I would say from year one to year two, he did have a drastic change. I don't know if that could happen again. Um, I
Yeah.
really don't. But do
If
you
he
think?
plays more consistent, I will. It for me, it's a big development. Like if he just plays way more consistently offensively next
Yeah,
season.
that's the year three. Year three, you gotta play consistent, 100%.
Mhm.
And I don't know. How do you think? Like, do you think adding Rudy helps Ant a lot, or like, what do you think that
Oh
does for
yeah.
him?
Yeah, I think one of the reasons why like Donovan was so successful like driving to the paint was like Rudy is just a smart player where he like seals his players off, gets easy looks for players and like he gives and also like a vertical threat when they're in the pick and roll or when he's like in the paint where he doesn't have to worry about the other like a help side defender coming at him on that end.
I think you guys are gonna be like, especially with that team, and you guys just made it what, the seventh seed? Was it?
Hmm.
Or it was the
The
seventh
seventh.
seed. Yeah, you guys went against the Memphis Grizzlies. I think you guys are gonna be around that five or six. I think that's how good you guys can be with Rudy. Just because that defense just helps out a lot. Because I think it. I'm a little mad that you guys got rid of Pat Bev. Though I'm not gonna lie, I'm mad because I feel like he fit it. He fit it so perfectly.
I
But
think
yeah, that's tough.
I'm might be me being biased, but I think we're probably top three seed in the West. Having
You
this
think?
is the best team
What are the
Rudy Gobert
teams?
has ever been on.
What are the teams ahead of you?
I mean the Clippers. I don't know how much regular season they'll be good because of like how much rest Kawhi might need or Paul George because they don't seem like they care about the regular season like that. But let me look the exact all the teams.
I think the
Uh,
Warriors are definitely gonna continue to be like that top.
yeah,
I'll say the top two
Warriors.
seed.
I think Nuggets for regular season play are gonna be good.
You don't think the Suns are still gonna be up there? Because they have the same
Um,
team.
yeah, I think Suns. I think it's gonna be. I think if I were to bet it, I would bet the Suns number one, Nuggets two, then Wolves three. If I were to bet.
Mm, that's interesting. I don't know. Let me ask you this too. From your okay, so let's say not let's say you were a Knicks fan, but let's say you would have to give up a
Mhm.
trade package for Spida. What would you give up as a like looking into it from a Knicks perspective?
For me, I see. I wouldn't. For I don't. I'm not like a Donovan Mitchell type of person because it's so hard, like to build around him from a team perspective. Like giving up that many assets is just like insane. Like he's for the player he is, he deserves that amount of assets. Like if that makes sense. But from like a Knicks standpoint, I think it wouldn't like for me. I wouldn't do it, but he probably costs like 5, 6 first round picks. Like from a Jazz standpoint. But like I'm a believer in Donovan should have like went to a team that he's already solidified as like the second or third best player on the team and like have really good defensive like wings around him.
Wait, what do you think Donovan is? Like, is he a second like option on a championship team, or what is he?
I think he could be a second, but the first has to be like top 10 player in the league. I think he's more so a third.
You think he's a third?
Yeah.
I don't know. I think he's a second. Yeah. Oh, you said Donovan not worth it. Wait, how many of you in the chat think Donovan's not worth to trade that much for? Because I have seen a good amount of people say that they wouldn't do it, um,
Yeah.
because it would give too much. I don't know. I just feel like it's fine because I don't know. Me compared to other Knicks fans, I don't value the young players we have as much as others because
I will say,
I don't know.
you guys are in a good situation where like you have so many picks that like it doesn't really affect you guys like that compared to like a team that only had their picks. Like you guys have so many 2023 picks that are heavily protected from different teams, which like a team's just gonna view that as a first round pick in like a trade piece.
It's tough. I don't know. I just don't, bro. I just hope this doesn't go into a mess. Because if we do give up all those assets and we still end up being mid, like it's gonna be really sad. As a fan, because I don't know. Me personally, I don't know if you heard what I said earlier. I said that it would have been a lot better if we didn't get Brunson and it was just Spida and RJ into the
Mhm.
mix. I think that would have been a lot better. Um, do you agree with me with that? Because I think
I
that would
agree.
have been like the
I
perfect
agree.
thing to do.
And you could have used your cap space for like another player next to Donovan that would fit him a lot better than Brunson. But I will
The,
say one of the things I don't know if you guys Knicks fans have talked about with like Donovan's defense is that like sometimes or what something that people believe is like Rudy's such this great defender that like players around him start to not play defense because they think it could get cleaned up by everyone else or it could get cleaned up by him when they just let him drive into the paint, which like you were saying in his college film he had defensive potential, which it wouldn't be too crazy for him to come out and like be an okay defender um on the Knicks.
I would be surprised if he doesn't play like decent defensively for us because I don't know. I think this could go with like a good amount of NBA players, but some guys just when they get a change of scenery, like they just play a lot better. And I think he was just done with the Jazz. I know that's not an excuse, but I just really think that's what he did. And I think coming into the team, he definitely could be a guy that plays pretty good defense, or at least is a good team defender. Like that's the main thing I really need him to do. I don't really care too much about the one-on-one defense. I care more about the team defense, um, because there's not really too many good like ISO defenders in the NBA. There's not really a lot of
Yeah.
that. And if he could just do that, I think that would be amazing. Yo, since you're the genius, what's good, bro? Hope you're doing good. If you haven't already, by the way, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for being here with me. Been on for almost an hour and a half. We're gonna be going for a little longer. Um, Salute to my guy Hardwell as well. Make sure to check out For the Love of the Game, their channel they got going on. They've been popping too. Make sure to check that out. Um, he said, "I'm cool if I give up three protected picks and Dallas pick next year, but leave our core." So, what is the like? What can I say? Who are those players that you're just not willing to give up? Because it sounds like you're saying they're a little untouchable to you. Um, because to me, the legit for me personally, the only untouchable is RJ because I know he's not getting traded. But nobody else is untouchable regarding Donovan Mitchell. I really
RJ
don't think
should
there
be
should
the
be.
only person.
Yeah, I agree. So, wait, let
Yeah.
me know. How do you? So, who do you think? Like, just go from the Knicks young core. Who do you think is like has good potential besides RJ? Because I know you think RJ is
Um
good.
Quentin Grimes quickly if he's given like the primary ball handling and the whole like throughout the whole game. Cam Reddish would be actually no, I would say Grimes, then Cam Reddish, then quickly, then Obi, and then Miles McBride, and then Jericho. Actually, I'd probably flip Jericho and Miles.
You should flip. Yeah. Nah, I agree. Um, he said what did he say? He said if Donovan's the third option, I wonder who the first and second are.
See, Donovan could be a second. You just need the number one option to be like a top 10 player.
I think he
But
could definitely be a second option because
yeah, he can.
I mean I think he could. It's hard because when you look at him in that bubble year and the first year when his rookie year when he beat MVPG and Russell Westbrook, he was
Hmm.
the number one option, but he never had anyone like second fiddle to him that could really do anything. So, like scoring wise, I guess in a sense, so I can't really say that he can't even be a first option. You know what I mean? Like
I like Gobert did a lot. I think
I think
he
he did, but like when I think of I don't know, it's weird because when I think of second option, I'm trying to think of more of someone that could do it on both ends, or at least like help him with the offensive drought. Because I don't think like Boyan was
yeah.
doing a decent job, but at the same time, he's been pretty inconsistent in the playoffs. Like he was carrying like hard body during these playoff series.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that coming into the team, it's gonna be interesting because I don't know, like, cause you lose depth with getting him. You definitely lose depth. I need to know what they get specifically to cover that because our bench is probably not gonna be that good. It's gonna be really inexperienced. I don't know. Do you know specifically any free agents that are out there that are even decent? Because I really don't
Let
even
me
know.
see.
I need to actually check as well. I'll answer in another way. I'm cool if we lose Grimes, lose Cam Randall, and Rokas. I mean, I think we could give that up in like 5 picks, 6 picks. I think that will confirm it. To be honest, um, because I think realistically that's not even a crazy amount. Um, I thought my bad.
See.
Said Mitch has never had a consistent second option offensively that was very consistent. Clarkson was inconsistent, but the Jazz did a good job having shooters around Mitch to kick out. I agree with that. They had a lot of players that could be open. Like they had an interesting system. Every single time they pass out, they keep passing. If someone's open for three, they shoot it right away. Like Royce O'Neal shooting it right away. Bojan is shooting it right away. Joe Ingles. Like you'd have games where Joe Ingles and Bojan both have like five threes made. Like that's the type of offense they played. But at the same time, like you said, Jordan Clarkson was the sixth man, and he would have some fire games. But we all know he's not no second option or third option. He's just coming off the bench. He's like I'm not gonna say Tyler Hero, but Tyler Hero. But he's not better than Tyler Hero. But yeah, nobody is untouchable if the
Um,
goal is to make this team better moving forward. I mean, I agree, but I think like everyone personally has their untouchables, and for me, it is RJ. That was funny.
I'm looking at the free agents available, and like, there really isn't much. I mean, Dennis Schroeder's available. Um,
Is there like
you,
specifically like wings? I there
um,
probably isn't, right?
no, really not. No.
Since we no longer have Burks, we better hold on to Fournier for his shooting.
So is Carmelo's available still?
Yeah, a lot of Knicks fans want him back. I like Melo, but I don't think we should bring him back. I don't know. It's weird. I really don't think we should bring him back. It's gonna be a little strange. I think he
Yeah.
should just go to a contender. Let him go to the Warriors. Get him a ring, bro.
Would
I
just be
want him to get a
interesting.
ring.
I'm
Um,
surprised the Lakers haven't signed him. He won him a lot of games last season.
why is it too laughing? Yeah, no, he did, and then they just signed someone that took his number, so it makes me think he's not coming back. Um,
Yeah.
which I'm happy about because the Lakers are not good, and I don't like the Lakers. So I'm glad he's finally off that team. I wouldn't have been able to stand him winning a chip with LeBron because I don't like LeBron. So it really would have been hard for me. Um, the Mitch to Mitch pick and roll, if Mitch could set a proper screen and be consistent, is gonna be scary. I'm expecting Mitchell Robinson to take like a little step. Hopefully, I need him to add a post hook. I don't know how long I've been asking for that, but I do need him to pull up and start doing something in the post. The only wing I saw available was Josh Jackson. The market is dry when it comes to wings. Oh, I wish we got Norman Powell. I really do. You see, you remember that trade? What was it? Eric Bledsoe, Keon Johnson, and like two
Yep.
second round picks for Robert Covington and Norman Powell.
Trade
I
that made
was
no
mad.
sense.
I was mad, and I was getting told why I was mad. But Norman Powell was nice, and Robert Covington is solid. And I wish we got Norman Powell. I think he would be a perfect wing. Um,
That was a weird
next to
trade.
anyone, to be honest.
That felt like a ownership trade that they just wanted to like make a trade right away to duck the tax or something. Because like
I mean,
Norman
yeah,
Powell
because
should have
Robert
got you a
Covington was
first in
coming off the
return.
books. No, he just came off the
Yeah.
books this season, so
hmm
they traded him away because he was an expiring contract. Then Norman Powell. I mean,
Norman Powell
it
for
was just
Keon
weird.
Johnson is crazy.
That was actually such a terrible trade. I don't know how. When I see trades like that, I don't understand how more teams don't get involved, or why Like let's say the Blazers, why they didn't try to get more in that
Yeah.
trade package. What's your instincts tell you about RJ next season? Will he go to the next level and become more efficient and consistent, or um? So this is my thing with RJ, because now if you do get Spida, it makes my thought of RJ next season go different. Because, for example, if we didn't get Spida, I would think that RJ would have a type of season, for example, where he would average around 23 points, 24 points, um, 6 rebounds, and let's say like 3, 4 assists. That's what I think his peak would be next season if Spida wasn't here. But from looking at it in this perspective, the efficiency part, I've said this so many times. I'm not worried about his efficiency because I trust that, especially during the summer, that he's gonna adjust and get better and work on the skills that he needs to. Because I like looked at it. He shot 7 to 17 for the season. That was 41% basically, and then if he just makes one more shot, he shoots 47%. So you see the amount of layups that RJ misses that he could easily make, and there's unnecessary shots that he puts up sometimes that he needs to lessen. I think he shot like 17 or 18 shots per game last season, and if he can get that down maybe to around 16 and a half, and take better shots and better quality shots, I trust him to be around that 44, 45% field goal range for next season. And his 3 pointer, I'm not worried about his 3 pointer because the first season he shot terrible from three, was like 30%. Second season he went up to 40%. And then last season he was just around league average, I'm pretty sure, with like 35. So I think that when you add guys like Jalen Brunson and Spida that get, the attention away from them, he's gonna get a lot more threes that are wide open. And in general, I just think he's gonna shoot better. I think he might be around that 37% range from three. His free throw percentage, I think his free throw percentage can be around 75, 77, something like that. But I don't know, the percentages don't really worry me as much as it would. Um, Asian McLovin, Raptors own, shout out Bam Bam to go. All right, we gotta. Bam is not nice. Wait, do you like Bam? Do you think Bam is good?
Nah, he's like, I don't know, 40th best player. He's all right.
Can you real quick? Okay, let me ask you this, and then how do you feel
Hmm.
about D'Lo being on the team? Like, how do you think it's gonna? Do you think you trade him off? My dog is barking. I need to stop him real
No,
quick. But
you're
like,
good.
talk about D'Lo real quick.
I I think getting Gobert makes it where D'Lo isn't being traded. Um, Nick this coming season, and I think like depending on how he performs, there could be an extension for him, and like I would expect him to perform really, really well, just because like he actually gets a rim runner that he hasn't had till like the Nets days, and like I think he doesn't have to like try on defense like last year because of Gobert. But I think he should be really well. He should do, I mean, really well with Gobert, and I think he'll average. I don't know. He'll probably average like 18, 19 points, 7, 8 assists a game. Brunson was a good signing. Brunson, I think, yeah, Brunson was an all right signing. That's what the market pretty much dictates for a type of point guard like that. If we get Spider, RJ can become a nice spot up shooter. I don't think you want to limit RJ as just a spot up shooter, is who he is. But I know what you mean. He'll get a lot of good looks in the corner.
All right, my bad. I'm back. All right.
You're
My
good.
dog was bugging out for a second. Said, Q, we have Brunson, RJ, Mitch, Randall, Cam. If we bring in Spider, who do you think will be a number one option? Um, I think no matter what, Spider's gonna be the number one option. Then I think RJ will be the number two, and I don't know. I think Brunson and Randall are like interchangeable because for me, I personally think that I think Brunson is gonna be like an initiator for the team. I do. Brunson was a bad signing, big time overpaid for a short, bad playmaker. Of the top 30 wings in usage, RJ ranked last in assists percentage and second to last in assists to turnover percentage. I'm gonna be honest, I don't even know how to like with those stats. But I mean, RJ had his opportunities to play make. Um, Especially last season, he had a lot more. And as he got more touches, he started getting more assists. And he had a lot of nice passes that he did have that players didn't make shots. But I do expect it to go up. I think his playmaking has definitely gotten better since he's been a rookie. 100%. I really do think it has. I think he's a good playmaker for his position. Um, no, I said get the deal done and just see what and how Tibbs will coach them to put them in a position so they can succeed. And I hope they make another move. What move do you think? Like I don't know. I'm trying to think. I don't know what type of move they could make after that. And shout out to Bam Bam. He's the GOAT. Shout out to Bam Bam, right there. 16-5-4 ain't cutting it for me when it comes to guys making 26 mil per. Like Brunson is, especially at his height, he ain't Kyle Lowry. I don't know if you put. You see, I don't think it specifically matters. Like, I don't think he's gonna average 4 assists. I think he's gonna average around like 6, maybe with a team next season. Give me a
16,
second.
5, and 4 is what those type of players make. Like, look
Yeah,
around the league, like Mike Conley, D'Angelo Russell, like them guys make around that amount of money, and like how they structure the contract, it's descending. So like he's not gonna be on a 26 mil like the last 2 years of that contract. He's gonna be around like 24 to 25, which is very tradable asset, and like I don't think it's bad at all.
yeah, I definitely don't think it's bad at all either. Please shout out my go Bam Bam. Shout out to Bam Bam, even though it's a little
No,
overrated.
RJ's
Um,
not getting more money than Mitchell.
yeah, shout out Wacko in Brooklyn. RJ is definitely not getting more money than Spida. Spida makes 33 mil per, I'm pretty sure, or
Yeah.
35. I think he has the full max. I think RJ is gonna get like 27 to 28 mil per. That's what I do think is gonna happen. What do you think is gonna? Well, what do you think he's gonna get?
If I was to get him, or what do I like expect?
Okay, first say what you would give him, and then say what you expect.
I would give him, for me, I would probably give him 20 to 25 mil. What I expect is probably 25 to 30 mil.
You will give him 20 mil? That's low.
25 to 20 to 25
Yeah, that's a little low.
around there.
All
I
right.
expect like the Keldon Johnson type extension.
22.5 equals RJ. 5 assists per game is a plus playmaker at their position. No, it's not. But at the same time, you gotta understand he played with Luca, so you can't specifically like put that on him. That's not really his fault. When you play with Luca, you're not gonna be able to average as many assists as you would hope to, especially when you don't have the ball in your hands as much. RJ getting more than Brunson, I think they're gonna get basically the same. That was a good answer. I like it. It is when you're playing with a ball hog like Luca. Yeah, and I'm not even saying because I mean there's reasons that Luca has the ball in his hand. He's really nice. You can't say anything about it. He does good things when he has the ball in his hand.
I mean, like Brunson averaged 7.5 assists without Luca this season and had 20 points.
Yeah,
But I will say it is going to be a lot harder for him, like offensive wise, to score with this Knicks team than it is with like the Mavs team, with how like they ran their offense with like five out, just because of the non-spacing from the Knicks compared to the Mavericks. But should still be pretty productive.
yeah, no, I agree. Um, and we've been going on for a while. I'm gonna get off in like a few minutes, but if you guys have any final thoughts in the chat, shout out to Momo for being here as well. Popped in. I'll probably go. I don't know. It depends if we're gonna get any news on Spider or anything like that. Probably gonna go live in a few days, maybe. Check it out. Said and Brunson took the Mavs on his back in the playoffs when Luka wasn't there. Yeah, that is definitely a plus for that because he was cooking. I'm not even gonna lie. That Jazz series, he was cooking, but it did slow down afterwards. Um, versus the Suns, he did like decently. And who else did they play in the playoffs? That was it, right? The Mavs.
Warriors,
Oh, the Warriors too.
Warriors, Suns, Mav,
He didn't
or
do
yeah,
anything crazy against the Warriors either. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right.
no, you didn't.
Yeah, nah. Yeah, so I mean that's basically it. I appreciate you guys for being on here. Shout out to Momo. Shout out to everyone that's been in here. No, I didn't expect too much because I haven't been on for a while. But I appreciate you guys for watching. Um, Let me read your comment real quick. He said trade Fournier, Grimes, Rokas, McBride, and 6 firsts for Spida. He said Brunson cooked the guy that New York Knicks want and Mitchell. Okay, yeah. Now I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Subscribe, smash that like button. Shout outs to the people that watch on replay. Make sure to comment down below afterwards as well. It helps with all that algorithm and stuff. But I appreciate you guys, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace out.